We're here with Our Europe in Moldova to create a multimedia story. It's part of the project Edges of Europe, in which we invite Moldova's most talented storytellers to create a multimedia story together. We'll be working with a photographer, a journalist, a cinematographer, a designer. Together they will brainstorm and later on build a story within a week. We follow this according to the Google Design Sprint, and we really think that in a week, with the multidisciplinary effort of the entire team, we can make an amazing story.
Definitely a startup approach to storytelling. The story is not just us trying to tell a person a story, but it's also the reader consuming it in a way that it stays with them. So for us, it's very important to see if we can think of format that works for the reader in a way that the story actually hits them. In the Google methodology, you first try to understand the problem, then you're gonna sketch different versions of your solutions to that problem, then you're gonna decide on which one you think is the best one, then you prototype, and then you validate. You can use this for an app or any kind of product, but we thought you can also use it for a story.
What we're doing right now is we're doing a brainstorm exercise, the first open brainstorm exercise, where basically we want to try and determine the angle and the focus of the story, of what Edges of Europe is going to be about the next 6 days. So that when we go into the field with the photographer, with the video guy, with the whole interdisciplinary team, we actually know which areas we want to visit and what stories we want to focus on. And so the exercise right now is very open to visualize certain ideas for stories. And the idea is to boil them down to the essence, not to use too many words, and in that way we can hopefully reach a focus today or by the end of tomorrow.
I'm drawing some sketches of the story we're gonna make. So I have to draw one sketch per minute. So in the end I'm going to have 8 versions.
I think it's one of the examples or one of the exercises that gets you to think of your story a little bit differently, because you have to think of different stories. Usually you have one story in mind, one idea from the start, and that's what you're gonna do, and you leave no options open for any other versions of the story. And this exercise helps you to get to as many different possibilities so that you are sure you actually get to a good story idea in the end.
So we just brainstorm a lot of different ideas, just anything that came up to our mind, and we put it into different categories or like try to group them together, but it was all done independently from each other. So we're not choosing any story, we're not eliminating any story idea, we're just seeing where we gravitate towards, because now we're voting, everybody's reading through the cards and put a dot on the notes with an idea from all the different group members that they think would be an interesting story.
So now we arrive at the decision phase, so we're gonna rank all the ideas we come up with yesterday on like a decision matrix. So like which are the high impact ideas and the lowest effort. So we try to make such a focused decision that we can actually make the best story in the coming week. So this is the very important and also like the most fun part of this week, is that it will determine the rest of the days.
It's really impressive because in the morning we had nothing, and in the afternoon we already had several big ideas of the story, and today we again got dose of inspiration, and I think in the next couple of hours we're gonna decide on the final story, and then we'll just schedule the next day and try to make it happen.
Pam pam pam, rhythmic photographs of the protests. This goes to the noise, da 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 boom. You scroll down, and then there is a silence of the rural areas. Silence. And out of this silence, we go to the split screen where we choose 2 guides. Follow their way to the protests. We would like to follow them and to shoot as many material as we can, the photo and video, together with the text.
It's a beautiful moment to capture in the morning.
Dacă își vine sunetul și se încână cu sunetul. Că asta foarte mult contează și pentru o secundă mă scuzați pentru rubrica vine sunetul și ai...
De exemplu, permite sfoca ce staž live.
Yeah, so today we woke up in the early morning at 5:30 and we went in the countryside of Moldova. We had some, I think, interesting interviews with the villagers. I hope we will use some of this interview in our project. And also we had really nice landscapes of typical rural life in Moldova, people walking through the streets, a fisherman that talked us a little bit with the migration situation. So I think it was a really productive day, and I hope tomorrow will be the same.
Discussed about a lot of ideas, but at the end we decided that the most important idea and the story that we should cover is the current situation with the protest movement in Moldova. So there is a Occupy Guguța movement now, a movement of the young generation that try to protest in creative way, try to maintain the non-violent protest to achieve their goals, and the goal is to fight for the better country, and that was our main story. So we followed like 4 guys, 3 of them were from Occupy Guguța movement. So we went to their homes, we went to their work, and we followed them during the protests. Yeah.
We're looking to intersperse parts of text with video and photo, and it's kind of complex to think of how much each medium deserves, how much photography to use, how much video to use, and how much text to use. So my main job is to think about the structure of the final article and the story.
We will start with this noise, this short video, very colorful, very powerful, then followed by that silence. Later we'll go to the relevance section, when we actually explain why the story is important, why are we doing it. Readers can relate to it and understand the rage of Moldovans and why they decided to take the streets. The democracy crisis is very important to young people. Either they're here or they're abroad. They come together to protest and to change the future of Moldova, but have to decide in the end to stay or to leave.
You have a chapter introduction, and okay, you've read it, and you can continue and you have a big picture or something like that. Yeah, so I think for this story we're working together with also local designers, and they're bringing in like a lot of Moldovan aspects to the story, a lot of rough textures, a lot of really cool shapes that we can incorporate into the design. You can get so much inspiration just from like images like this or the color composition. Basically what I'm doing is turning all that into also an Are We Europe story. Now working on, okay, what's the best typography, for example.
It's a gift for about us, about our team, done in a very fast and fresh manner. It's like our project. It's very fast and strong.
Most interesting and challenging thing, I think, was to edit all the material very quickly. This is the most challenging, and because you can stay at one short video, I usually stay maybe 1 week, but now I was super quick and made it in 1 day, so it was really hard to make this.
We covered a story which has been not that much reflected in the international media and as well as in national media. All this just made a good product which makes me happy and also proud and hopeful about the impact that we're going to make with the story.
We are here to facilitate young Europeans to showcase their talents, to try to make a story within 1 week, and we would love to show it to you.
Thank you very much for having us. We'd love to show you the story. So thank you very much for having us, Victoria.
So we're going to scroll down. We're going to show you videos.
and we'll have some computers with us, so please come, read the story, give us feedback. This is not the final version. We really want to make the best story about Moldova and about defending democracy.
Today I shot a new series, Batman series. It was very hard because we shot this series in the Moldavian countryside, and all the villagers was shocked to see Batman in the village, and I think we get a really strong material for our project. Yeah, so it was cool.
Text, too much text is boring.
Sorry. Don't write too much.